other side of Heimbach now, and still on our way kind of in the direction of Baumholder, but that's not our destination today. You know, the one hour day trips outside of Baumholder, there's a lot of stuff for the military families to do, military members to do, and people that just live here, because you're right in the middle of everything that there is. And even if you don't have a whole day off, you can still make something out of it, make an afternoon out of it. You see a lot of bikers here. Again, this is generally the way that I usually go to work every morning. So it is a nice scenic drive. It's nice and quiet. Lots of trees here for shade in the summertime. Although summer hasn't started here yet, it's been rainy and cold this whole spring. It's like winter just does not want to let go. You guys probably can't see this in the video, but there's a lot of little wildflowers in the ditch here on the sides of the road. And we're coming up to the entrance to Frauenburg. This nice little farmhouse on the right. Frauenburg Castle. We had an accident on this bridge one time when there was a military policeman. And we're on. Put our stuff in the car here real quick. And we're going to walk up to the Frauenburg Castle. It's my wifey. At the Naha River right over here. And we need to go. When the water is really high, in the springtime or in the fall when it rains a lot of times this river is really flooded, and sometimes it actually goes over this road that we're walking on and over into that field right over there. See lots and lots of pretty wildflowers over there. You look up top there, that is the road going to Oberstein from Baumholder. Now if you look all the way up there, and that is the bridge, that's the road going to Oberstein from Baumholder. We're actually going to walk right underneath that one, and probably underneath the tank trail bridge that passes a little bit past that. Got a story on that too. You can see the castle through the trees. Can you guys see this? Imagine 1,000 years ago how all of this used to be. This castle has a lot of history to it. And once again, you guys are going to have to wait until we get to that point. It's a beautiful day. First nice day we've had in the last 3-4 weeks. So we're going to take advantage of it and share something with you guys. This is the entryway up to the castle. Gräfin Loretta, the Countess Loretta, for whom the castle and the village are named, is called Frauenburg, Women's Mountain, or Women's Hill, because the man built this as a present, a gift for his wife. Of course, he didn't have his lord's permission to do this, so he built it up this little tiny valley out of the way where it's very difficult to find unless you actually know where to look. The Gräfin Loretta was a very extraordinary woman for the 14th century. In 1323, at the age of 27, the young widow assumed the reins of power in the county and ruled with a firm hand for her 3 children until 1331. She entered the annals of history by taking prisoner the most powerful imperial prince, Archbishop Balduin of Trier, by employing a bold strategy in 1328. The shockwaves of her reverberated around the whole of Europe. She was ostracized by the Holy Roman Emperor and excommunicated by the Pope as a result. But nevertheless, she enforced her claims, with the result that Balduin had to sign a contract of atonement. This is one of the first contract documents to be written in the German language. When she had passed over her authority to her son, she relinquished Herstein as her place of residence and chose Frauenburg instead, where she lived until the end of her days. The countess died in early 1346 before attaining the age of 50. So she actually had Herstein, which we haven't done yet, haven't been there yet, and also has a small little history for keeping one of the biggest criminals in German Middle Age history as a prisoner for a night. So this is it, yeah. Her stratagem was she sent her sons, 2 of her sons, to attack a ship on the river, on the Mosel River, and this is where they captured the Archbishop Balduin. And they kept him here as a guest for a couple of years here in this castle. Again, it's a difficult place to find, and his superiors would have never been able to find him just by looking through here, since this castle never existed at that time, well, officially. For those who are not so inclined to walk all the way up this little hill here, you can actually drive up here and park here. They even have some somewhat crooked picnic benches over there on the other side of this little bridge that we're walking across. But you get over here, and this is the place to walk up to the castle. A lot of these things they're rebuilding again after having been worn down for so many centuries through neglect and people stealing rocks for their houses. Because of course if nobody's actually living in the castle, or it's already in ruins, well, there you've got a free rock quarry. And we've got on the other side of the path, we've actually come up that path right there and right to here. A little bit steeper, but still a little bit of fun. So this is the way inside the curtain wall for Frauenburg Castle. Now this is called the curtain wall. Kind of a strange way to say that, but because it wasn't much of a bastion. It's basically one building with 10 towers, the stables and the chapel were outside. So yeah. And we've got this nice little curtain wall that goes around here. Like I said, this is what they call the castle ruins. So there's not really a whole lot left. People didn't leave a whole lot left, but this curtain wall was actually the part that covered the entrance into the castle from enemy attack. Now, why would anybody try and attack from such a steep hill like that? Castles were very much in vogue until the age of gunpowder. And when people started making cannons that could knock down walls, there was really no point even having castles anymore. So, my beautiful wifey, youngest son Ryan, well, he loves walks. He loves going outside. He's an outdoorsman, so he just loves to be anywhere outside. Constructed prior to 1327 as a fortress in the southwestern part of the lands ruled by the Counts of Sponheim-Starkenburg, guarding a local crossroads. Only the ruins of the inner curtain wall remain, chosen in 1331 by the widow Loretta von Sponheim as her residence instead of Rapunzel Castle, which was guaranteed for her use by contract. It was the official seat of the manor of Frauenburg. It also held sway over Reichenbach, Hammerstein, Ausweiler, Kronweiler, and the manorial courts of Windenburg and Homerreich. The castle was seldom used following the death of the countess. The uninhabited castle fell into ruin during the 30 Years' War. It is said that the small tower is where Rapunzel lived. And that is why I told you guys that this is the Rapunzel Castle. This is where the famous princess lived. The one who threw down her long golden hair for the prince to come and rescue her. And that's my princess. And that there's my princess. Sometimes she needs rescuing. You look up here. This is the inner curtain wall. There's an outer curtain wall, which is mostly in ruins, and then an inner curtain wall where you could actually go in and see if you guys can see this. We're right at the base of the towers now. And the small tower on the left there is where Rapunzel lived. And that's the window where she used to throw down her hair. You can see from the bottom there were no stairs, no way in or out except through that window. And a second entrance to the castle, which I'm actually going out of right now. But I'll show you guys this from the outside, where everybody came up here, right through that stairs there, came right through here, and this is the view down below. You can see where the outer curtain wall kind of ends there, and then there's a brick wall all the way down there. Of course, all of these trees would have never actually been allowed to grow this close to the wall back in the day. Oh yeah. Oh, Franzi, right here. My wife back there doing her own little thing. Lots and lots of video stuff. Lots of little hidden corners, hidden gems. And like with most castles, a whole lot of up and down. Imagine being a soldier in 1400, 1500, trying to attack this little castle and climb all the way up to some place where you could actually do something. Being that prince, having to start from all the way down there to climb all the way up this, just to get to Rapunzel's window right there. Not very impossible, but you know, she does have to let her hair down a long ways just for that. just for the prince to rescue her from the witch. This is the door, the only door to the interior of the castle. Unfortunately, it's locked. Usually it was open. And you can see, maybe you can see back there, the stairs that go up. And tourists could actually go up and see things. But it looks like there's a couple of, got some lights back there. Some electricity's built into this place. And looks like parts of construction. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but it's, whoops. See if you can focus in on that. Maybe you can see it right there. Yep, this would have all been actually covered with plaster and whitewashed and anything to protect the stone and the mortar from the ruins of dampness. So, my wifey exploring. Now she's 5 foot even, so it gives you kind of a big huge, just how huge these towers actually are. Oh, I'm going to take a little bit of, I just started with so again. I have a really bad habit of that. Yeah, just take a small breather before we head back to the car, head on to the next adventure. I shot as much video as I could up there. I mean, we were sitting on the bench on the far end of what used to be the Great Hall. And then there's a smaller hall, and of course the servants' quarters, the kitchen, and all that stuff that every castle needs. But there's really not a whole lot left. There's the 2 towers, the Rapunzel Tower on the left. Oops, bless you. Yeah, a lot of pollen flying in the air now that the rain finally stopped. And the small Rapunzel Tower and the larger, what was called a donjon, or the main tower, the last bastion of defense. And if you look between the 2 towers, there's kind of a walkway and a wall up there where you could actually connect both towers together. So there was actually a way to defend even against any enemy getting this far. Yeah, this would have been a really hard, it's a small castle, but it would have been very, very difficult to take. And it stood standing until the 30 Years' War. A lot of the small castles around this area got destroyed either by a house fire or the 30 Years' War, when the when the Catholics and the Protestants were fighting against each other. And well, that's how it started. And through the years, more and more factions threw their lot in with one side or the other, and pretty much left everything in ruins. It took a long time for them to recover from that. So, we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.
So thank you for watching. If you like, hit subscribe and hit the bell button and support us a little bit. We're trying to get some things going together. I'm an American, she's Filipina, from the Philippines. We're both living and working here in Germany, and trying to do something for the people in this area, especially, yeah, anything that can help people around. So we appreciate your support. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you next time.